So here we have my Suzuki Carry 2004 all-wheel drive personalized camper. In May, the end of May this year, I'm going to be heading around Australia in it, heading in the clockwise direction, all solo, all self-sufficient, and yeah, today I'm going to give you a big rundown of the car. I'm going to try and get through this as quick as possible because I've got a lot to show you. A lot of work has been done to this. I've been working on this car for about 5 years. She's come a hell of a long way. Certainly didn't look anything like this when I first got it. It was in a bit of a rough way. These Suzuki Carries are they're really extraordinary, quite rare. You wouldn't find many of these, especially not going to stumble across many when I go around Australia. But yeah, here's a picture of when I first got it. So as you can tell, a hell of a lot of work has been done. I'm a boilermaker by trade, but self-taught mechanic. Done hell of a lot of work for this myself. We'll give you a quick rundown of the drivetrain. So what powers it? We've got 1.3 EFI Jimny motor in there. Viscous coupling here. That's what drives all the wheels. I've upgraded the drive shafts, heavy-duty drive shafts, all round. Toolbox on each side. This one contains the compressor and a couple of other bits and pieces. So we've got onboard air. Up here we've got kick-ass shower, so that drops out and you've got shower curtains. On the roof here we've got fishing kayak, nice and stable, stack exhaust, cold air intake, snorkel, I think it's 140 watt solar panel, so it's always getting charged. Of course, we've got Always Living, repping that on the bonnet. Jim's Oz Lap, repping the Instagram page. Yeah, a lot of people ask me what this car is, so I've made it as clear as mud for them. So Suzuki saves half the conversation. But here's the other toolbox here. My water hose for filling up the water tank. She currently holds 90 litres of petrol, which is around 800 kilometres worth of range, which is plenty to get in between servos when I go around Australia. We've got bushwhacker awning on the roof here. That's 180 degrees of coverage, which is absolutely amazing. Dual fuel tanks, like I mentioned before. We've got a tank at the back here. That one's 50 litres, and the factory one is further forward. That's 40 litres. I also carry a 5 litre jerry can. On the back here, we've got max tracks for recovery purposes, one large bin bag, one large laundry bag, and some pouches on the sides of those as well. So yeah, lots of storage on the outside here. And yeah, we'll get inside, we'll get everything opened up. Just one more thing, here's my aerials. I've got a dual antenna CB radio, so that chooses between better frequencies. So I've got 2 different frequency aerials here, and it just automatically goes between one aerial to another, trying to get the best service. And yeah, that's all rotatable, all locked up as well. Everything you see I've locked up. I've got 8 locks made up to suit one key, so everything's locked up. Don't know if I'm paranoid or not, but I just don't want my stuff getting pinched when I'm out and about climbing mountains or going for a kayak or going for a bike ride or anything like that. So everything's got locks on it. But yeah, we'll get everything opened up and I'll show you inside. So like I mentioned before, with everything being locked up, I've got a rod that holds my drawers in. So pull this out, come to the back here, pull this rod out. So not only does this lock my drawers up, it keeps my drawers from opening. So that's the rod out. We'll get these sides opened up and we'll have a gaze inside. So there we have it. Here's the inside. I've got a large drawer here and another large drawer here. This one on the left contains most of my kitchenware. Bunch of cans of all sorts, like fly spray and all that. This one here is going to contain my clothing. Behind here I've got the paddle, the 2-piece paddle for the kayak. This is going to contain all my shoes and boots and whatnot. In here is the big large orange whip flag. All right, here's drawer number one. So we've got a 4-piece fishing rod, my free diving gear. We've got wetsuit, long flippers, snorkel, plenty of container space, container galore here. This is actually a 2-piece. A piece comes out, so I can have a layer of consumables there and then clothes underneath. And here we have drawer number 2. All my cooking gear. We've got spices, we've got cooking pots, everything required for the big lap. Got some fancy lights that I set up, and more lighting, Mozzie coils, all sorts of kit in here. Well equipped, that's for sure. My blender's going to live in there. So like I mentioned earlier, here's some tube that rod slides inside here. Not only is it keeping these drawers shut, but it's stopping anyone from being able to open them. It also runs through this one and locks up through there. Here we have one food container. This is going to be like long-term food. And on the other side of it, we've got more of the short-term food, easy accessible. We've got some Aussie covered duvet. This is a full single mattress, super comfy, plenty of space for 2. I will be traveling alone though, and so yeah, definitely enough space for 1. This here is theoretically my bedside table, also locked up. Behind here we've got the water tank, so 70 liters of water in there. That's also pressured by the air compressor, so if I want water to be pressurized, I just flick on the air compressor and we've got some pressurized water as well. We've got an internal washing line here for when it's either raining or whatever. I need to hang some stuff up. Some lights as well. We've got the fly screens and obviously the outer canvas. So we've got fly screens on both sides. I can drop that down just to get the bugs out. And if I want a bit of airflow instead of dropping the canvas sides. Mandra Canvas did the canvas work on here, and thoroughly impressed with the work they did. Couldn't ask for anything more. Super pleased with how it came out. But yeah, built everything myself other than the canvas really. I did the framework myself, the whole tray. I built the tray from scratch. So we'll come around to the other side now anyway. Here we have a 70 litre fridge and freezer. It's currently running. I'm doing a trial run on the car. I'm just going to leave it running for a week, just to see how it goes with the battery and everything like that. It seems to charge up nicely throughout the day. I'll give it a little run at the end of each day, and it seems to hold up throughout the night easily. So we've got a bit of consumables up here, like stuff I'm going to use quite regularly. Full switchboard, king switchboard. I've only managed to fill 2 of the switches. We've got lights, like I said, USB ports in here, and this is the compressor. Flick that on, so that pumps the tank. You don't want to give it too much, otherwise the tank may explode. But yeah, really pleased with how this turned out. So this drawer here opens both ways if I really need to, but most of the cooking gets done this side. I set my table up here, and then the chairs around here. That other drawer obviously can only get opened from the other side, which is fine because that's just clothing anyway. Here's the solar panel converter. There's also USB ports on there if you really need them. Currently sitting on 11.7, which is obviously not high, but being the only 1.3 motor, it turns over a piece of cake I've started it before on 11 flat, so yeah, not a worry. All right, so sneaky setup underneath the drawers here. We've got 2 stools. Behind the stools is my fold-out table, and further on we've got a camping chair, and further on is another camping chair. Underneath the fridge we have 3 burners worth of cooking stove. We've got the 2 burner runs off proper gas bottles, and then I've got one of the quick and easy ones that run off the canister can if I just want to smash a coffee together or something light, you know. So here we have 2 little storage containers just of little bits and pieces that I use quite often. So this is my sink and laundry. Obviously runs off the tap here, can be pressurized water like I mentioned earlier. So this is my sink. I shove that out of the way, and here is the access for the food. This is the short-term food, and even deeper is the long-term food. Here is the air lead for the compressor. That is currently hooked up to the water tank. My doggo has decided to come say hello and have a scratch. Beautiful day here in Denmark. Just to sidetrack a little bit, it's quite rare that we get these days down here, but yeah, what a wonderful day to shoot this bloody extraordinary Suzuki Carry of mine. Really pleased with how it's come out, and how everything's just meshed together. Everything fits, everything works. So yeah, super pleased, super proud of my work as well. What I'll do, I'll get the whip flag out, I'll open the awnings, and we'll have a geese there as well. So up here we've got some toilet roll, some kitchen roll, a bit of pool noodle so I don't bash my head on that center pipe, toilet seat, little USB fan, does alright, and over there you can see my fishing rods. They live in a fishing rod holder, so they're kindly tucked away in there, featuring the emergency 10mm socket. If all else fails, break that glass. We've got a 500 watt inverter here. That's enough to charge my laptop, to charge my drone, to charge my, well, to run my blender. So yeah, plenty enough there. Unfortunately not enough to bump a kettle, but I'll just have to heat my water, which is fine. This is a Brass Monkey fridge. Absolutely rate these fridges. Comes with 3 years warranty. Like I said earlier, currently running. This is the freezer side. It's best to keep it running with stuff in it, especially running off the battery. So yeah, a couple of goodies in there. It's almost Easter, so hiding a present in there for the old lady. Back here we've got like a drying rack for the cutlery and plates and stuff. That folds out. Yeah, good little piece there as well. Behind here, my good mate Robbie managed to find me Coca Cola with Kazza on it, probably for Caroline, but the nickname of this car is Kazza, so love that. That's awesome. But yeah, here we have the 180-degree awning open, bushwhacker awning. My dog's still hovering around. She's currently chasing flies. But yeah, heaps of coverage. Obviously sun pending where you park your car. But for the purpose of this video, just popped it out there. So I also set up the whip flag. That has two different heights if you want to. I don't think I'd ever have it on that height. That's quite extreme. And the aerials at their open position, so the low frequency and the high frequency. The unit is in the cab. I'll show that in a minute. But yeah, I'll quickly run you through these toolboxes. So like I said, lockable, Thumper Max single piston. There's also a fog light there, couple of straps as well. And on this side I've got first aid box, a hammock, extension lead, and the 240 volt power cable for the fridge, just in case I need it for emergency's sake. Here is the factory fuel tank. 40 something litres, I think it's just over 40, and I've fit that one in the rear. That's a 50 litre from a Suzuki Vitara, and I just flick a switch and that pumps fuel from that fuel tank into this fuel tank rather than running it straight to the motor. I just got it as a filler into the original tank, and yeah, it works a treat. So like I mentioned earlier, Boilermaker by trade, I made this recovery point for the front end. Quite meaty, definitely strong enough. Lucky I haven't had to test it yet, but I assume it's well strong enough for this vehicle. Doesn't weigh very much. Some spotties on the front here. They're both like a pencil beam. They're bloody good spotties. Little nudge bar. It's more cosmetic than anything, just to hold the spotties and provide a little bit of protection. Here we have my gorgeous doggo once again. Jim's Oslap wrapping on the back, channel 18. I forgot to mention earlier, I've got dual spare wheels on the back, another mod myself, and a long neck shovel, long handle shovel, whatever you want to call it, underneath the tray there. Also rear suspension, I've fit some load helper springs in the back end, obviously just to assist with the weight, some little bit extended shackles, new shockies in the back as well. The front end hasn't had any work, doesn't really need it, doesn't need any more lift, it's got enough ground clearance. But yeah, absolutely chuffed. Here we have the front diff, the heavy duty drive shaft. Something I'm not too happy with Suzuki is where they've placed the oil filter. I was going to do an oil filter relocation, but I decided just to skip that idea and I made this bash guard for it instead. Does the job, has saved my bacon a few times. After I did, yes, bash an oil filter out in the car park, playing silly buggers a few years ago, and so yeah, I made that bash guard and it's worked a treat since then. So this is a better angle of the bash guard I made. Definitely protects it well. I also did the starter motor not too long ago. Just trying to make sure I don't have any dramas on the big lap. So yeah, everything's good to go mechanic wise. I've just got to give it a little service and then be good to go. All right, so inside the cab, got cup holders on each door here. I've made this center console on the roof. There is the dual range CB radio. It's all of its switches are on the handpiece here. We've got battery reading inside the cab too. I've made this cup holders and little compartment thing down here as well. Fire extinguisher wedged in there nicely. When you drive, yes, you are sitting on the motor. The motor is more this side and that side is more the battery, which I'll pop these up and give you a little rundown on them too. Little dash mat, got Pioneer sound system, got these large Pioneer tweeters up there and large Pioneer speakers on the door. The sound system goes alright for what it is. Pioneer deck as well. It has aircon, but it currently isn't working. Need to get that regassed. I recently did this reflective foil on the front. I've seen a few tour rigs with it on, and honestly I don't know if it works, but I thought I'd give it a go anyway. And yeah, that is the fuel gauge for the second tank. All right, so the engine bay, I've got one of the King's jump packs there for in case all else fails and the battery goes flat. That works a treat. I've already tried it on one of my other vehicles. Pod filter in fully enclosed box. I've done an alternator upgrade. Upgrade from the 60 up to the 80 watts. I want to say watts or amps. Anyway, I've done the upgrade there. Wasn't a bad conversion. Not too many swear words are spilt there. We've got the Ultima yellow top, but this is the blue top. They didn't have any yellow when I went in there. He said the blue is better for me anyway because it's better for obviously bouncing around on the road. Like when the blue tops are meant for boat. Obviously you're going to get a lot of slap in a boat, so and a lot of bounce in a 4x, so the blue top goes well. The blue top also has the little accessory bolts for more goodies. As you can tell, I've maxed out those. So yeah, apparently this is the best battery you can get on the market before you go lithium. So yeah, this handles the volt drop every night quite well. Well, it has so far, and I hope it does for the whole trip. If it doesn't, I've got the receipt and it carries 3 or 5 years warranty. But yeah, been a good battery so far, and yeah, it's best one I could fit in there, and price wise is a good buy as well. This is the G13 Double B. I believe the Double B is out of the Jimny. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it comes out the Jimny. Not a bad motor. I would love a bit more power. If I had a bit more money, I would have done a bit of work to the motor, but I have been limited, as you do when you travel and you don't get paid for traveling. So yeah, that almost wraps up the Carry's walk around. I haven't set up the shower. It's pretty straightforward. That pops out like the other awning, and then it's got 4 sides. Something I did forget to mention is the 180-degree awning also has a drop down fly net, which I'll keep in the cab. It covers this whole square section, which is about 2.2 meters by 2.2 meters. So I've got quite a large room if the bugs are getting to me and I need to get out the way of the flies or the mozzies or whatever. So yeah, full drop down mozzie net, which is awesome. I've got a folding bicycle that's going to live on that seat. I'm going to strap it to that handle up there. It folds up nicely and fits on that seat quite nicely. In the footwell, I'm going to have my laptop and drone. That's if I can't get it in the bonnet, but that we'll see how that comes in the coming weeks with space in there. I'll just get that open and show you what I've done in there too. So here is the, well, under bonnet. It's not the engine bay, but under the bonnet. We've got a snatchy. Underneath the snatchy is a tow rope. Got a tire repair kit behind there. And in this compartment, which I've made as well, these little plates to stop anything from falling out. In this compartment, I'm going to have spare parts and tools. So yeah, hoses, hose clamps, basic tooling. But yeah, not much more space in here. We've got a little radiator. As you can see down there, the recovery point that I made. But yeah, not much going on in here. I'd love to carry a high lift jack, but they're obviously very heavy and I'm already pushing my limits with weight. This little aerial here is just for FM AM radio. And one more sneaky thing I forgot is up here is tied up my outdoor washing line. So yeah, I'll string that off to a tree or whatever and hang up my clothes. Love these Aussie covers. Keeps you warm. Also underneath here is a blanket, a spare one for when I get to colder states in the different months. So yeah, when it's cold, I'll pop that out. I've also made these poles here. These are for this canvas. So this canvas can also be an awning. I've made those poles. Quite a cool little idea, that one. I'm not going to bother setting up my table and chairs. You'll get the picture there, but they all live underneath the drawers. You can see one of the chairs there. But yeah, keen to get this thing fully packed up and ready to go, get my clothes sorted, get the tooling together. I just don't want to do anything too soon because obviously I still need to live with those things. So yeah, they're going to get done in the final week before I leave. But yeah, basically, she's ready to go. There you have it. My Suzuki Carry 2004 Ultimate Tourer, I'm going to call it. Hell of a lot of work, hell of a lot of love, and a lot of time, a lot of energy. But wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you for watching this far as well. Any questions, hit them up in the comment section below. But yeah, like and subscribe as always. And yeah, follow the journey. Keen to get out of here and hit the road. Yeah, I live all the way down in Denmark, West Australia. At the most southern point almost of WA. So I'm going to be heading north to follow the warmer weather and then shoot across over to the Northern Territory and go from there. Yeah, once again, thank you for watching. My ADHD dog is obsessed with chasing flies. But yeah, there we have it. So I'll just quickly take you through a bit of security and the lighting. So there's the lighting there, lights up heaps. I've got a light in there too. But back to the security, I've got this disc brake lock up here. I know it's not physically going to stop someone from taking something, but it will deter someone. So it gives you a warning, like that was hardly a tap on the tray there, and it'll give that warning. And then if someone continues to break in, it'll siren like that for about 10 seconds. All right, I quickly told myself not to be lazy and popped out this awning just so you can see how that works. Like I said, the poles I made runs through a couple of them eyelets down to them, and same deal over there. Yeah, cool little touch. I had them on both sides until I purchased that 180-degree awning. So I ditched the other poles and just run the poles on this side. Yeah, keeps the sun off the bed, I suppose, and just yeah, completes the look. Anyway, once again, I'll wrap this up and say goodbye. Thanks again for watching. Cheers.